silence broken only by Atune's continued tinkering descends upon the room as the twins sit down obediently before me. Brushing my fingers against their noses, I note with mild amusement how starkly different their reactions are. While Kalia squeals and tries to nibble on my finger, Triss scrunches up his face all funny as if he was about to sneeze.
Aha! There, that should do it.
It seemed he had completed his tuning of the mechanical device. At long last, Atune detaches him.
Haha, get it? Mechanical tuning? Attune?
Detaches himself from the seat he had been glued to all night.
Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Kitchen, and today we're playing Streakfall. Swah!
He wipes his forehead and brings the fruit of his toil over to us.
They should make a fine toy for these two.
With a smile, he winds up a little lever on the device. Upon release, a simple musical note begins to flow from it. The twins stare with rapt attention as he kneels and holds the device out before them. I watch on as the two children struggle over the right to examine the toy first. Why do you build things, Atune?
Why do I build things? Because it's fun.
Atune stretches himself, cracking his joints in the
Ooh, that really hit the spot. Dad pushed me to pursue construction because of how stable the field is, but it's the intricate stuff like clockwork that always have been my passion.
It's so weird that he makes a very... I don't know, I find this line very interesting because it's such a modern social commentary, but like... we're in a different fantasy alternate Earth world, so... From designing architecture to inventing contraptions, Atune's always had a penchant for building things, and he certainly possessed the talent to match that passion.
Hey, Kalia, don't hit your brother like that.
The fight over possession of the toy had escalated to a miniature brawl. He's a big dummy! Wah! Teardrops begin to stream down Triss's face after a convincing Kalia kick plants his little behind on the floor.
Ah, not again. Why can't you two be nice to each other?
Pulling out my handkerchief, I dab away the clear droplets flowing from Tristan's eyes. Mallory is expecting my company after work today. Take care of them while I'm gone. When I finish wiping away the tears, I walk to the door and slip on my boots.
What? That's not fair. You spend more time with Mallory than you do with me.
Crossing his arms, Atune pouts. I like her more.
Why don't you marry her instead?
She doesn't roll that way, so I had to make do with you.
Jokes like that sting, you know.
And what makes you think I'm joking?
Damn! This marriage is shit!
Upon arriving at the Bastia household, I'm greeted by a familiar face. It's Amy. Hello, my po-faced dearie. Geez, is that how you greet your childhood bestie? Mallory squeezes my cheeks with a stupid smile. I grumble dourly as she plays with my face. This woman sure had a curious way of greeting people. Your deadpan expression is so cute, Amy. I always have this expression on. Doesn't that just mean you're cute all the time, then? If you don't know how to react, you can always blush and fidget and go, "You really mean that, Mallory?" No. Flatly vetoing the notion, I show my way into her home. Mallory's flight's a fancy snowball out of control at a frightening rate if you let her have her way. Aw, you're no fun. We take our seats at the dining room table, where tea has already been prepared. It's been 15 years now, huh? 15 years since we first met. Mallory looks off into the distance with a gaze of weary reminiscence. On that snowy day 15 years ago, I was born.
Wait. This implies she's 15. If 15 years ago she was born, that implies that she's 15 today, right? Holy shit. People have kids young in the Sakatrine Kingdom. Okay.
Under the name Amane, my time started moving, bringing me all the way to this day. Sakatrine's changed so much since then. It's only been 5 years since the Master's Revolution, but the Verloren Master's rule has brought such prosperity.
What a weird fucking exposition line. Like, no human talks like this.
The U-All refugee convoy. Their arrival changed everything. Though refugees in name, in an ironic twist, it was their arrival that liberated Socratrine from its deterioration. Their mobile protection facility single-handedly lifted Socratrine from its years-long famine, and in a miraculous matter of months, their bioagent eradication corps wiped out the plague. Factories, industry, contemporary science, and advanced infrastructure. It felt like we had been ushered from a time of deprivation to one of prosperity in the blink of an eye. Socratrine was not the only thing that changed, though. I look over at Mallory as she brings a teacup to her lips. She was now a lovely, fully matured woman, happily married and mother to 3 healthy children.
Who were the three? Oh, wait. We never. Oh, I remember. Never mind. Never mind.
It was the very picture of a bright future. I would have never imagined it back then. I can still remember holding her sobbing figure whenever she awoke in the middle of the night. You were always the one finding a way to provide for us back then. I wanted to be able to protect you as well, instead of always being the one protected. Your strength and your kindness, I've always envied it, Amy. I'm not a kind person, nor am I strong. I was just desperate. The period between Alouette's birth and the Master's Revolution's survival had balanced on the edge of a knife. But there's always a way so long as one is willing to get their hands dirty. I have no regrets about the path I've carved. Mallory and Alouette are here now today. We're alive, with all the others we hold dear, and that's all that matters to me. You really are a kind person, Amy.
You know, it's funny you say that, kiddo. 'Cause, Amy's about to do some crazy shit.
You know, do you remember how I met my hubby? No, actually, why don't you tell the story again for the 960th time? Oh, you. When did you become so sassy, Amy? My first meeting with Idone was so romantic. Fishing a suicidal man out of the Evaget in the rain doesn't strike me as very romantic. You're just wording it unflatteringly. Idone Basia, a young man who had lost his entire family to plague. Mallory met Idone for the first time while crossing the fated bridge that overlooked Evaget. Known by its epithet, Heaven's Fall, it was a place where the lost and weary yielded their lives to the river of eternity. Even if the drop didn't kill you, being carried beyond Socratrine's borders by Evaget was a death sentence. Prolonged exposure to the mist wreaked havoc on the mind and body, after all.
That's right, there's this mist. This mysterious mist.
To the one before her about to forfeit his life, Mallory spoke. Please live. But her plea fell upon unhearing ears. Without any hesitation, he stepped into the air. Of course, Mallory was not the type of person that could ever walk away from that. She plunged into the water after him, dragged his unconscious figure to land, and pounded the breath back into him. When Idone awakened, he couldn't understand why he had been saved. He had already given up on everything after all. Please live, and suffer. What Mallory had to say were not words of comfort, though. Rather, what came from her mouth was a harsh decree. The only truth of this world is that you need not suffer alone. You know, now that I think about it, you've never told me about how you met Atun. I want to hear about it. Please! She peers up at me with wet puppy dog eyes. Wet? Fine. It was around a year or so after the Master's Revolution. Lunch break. Oh yeah, by the way, that last scene was a flashback within a flashback within a flashback. I was on lunch break when it happened.
Oh, here I come, Constantinople. I am coming, Constantinople. Here I come. Oh, this is fucking pretty, dude. This is almost like the first snow.
It's cold. I dip my bare feet into the water and watch as the little waves lap around my ankles. A pond in a secluded grove. Though hardly that far away, not many seemed to know about this place. It's peaceful. Time's ceaseless advance, time's indifferent passage. Tick-tock it goes.
Get the fuck out of here, COVID-19. Why don't you peep this dick? Okay.
A dial that chases after nothing. Too peaceful. I hold my hand out before me. It was a foreign sensation. Cold steel, red blood, images that had long overlapped with my hand. They were not there. The taste of another's fading life, once intimate to me, it was now nothing more than a distant memory. I wonder why. It makes me feel so empty. It was like being suspended in a dream I could not awaken from. Yo, you know how Annalise has the golden dream? What if these people have the red dream, dude? Yo. Sorry, these people. I meant, didn't mean these people. No, that's silly. That's not a spoiler or anything. I just meant, this woman. It didn't make any sense, but it made me feel uneasy. As I ponder my reflection, the water's surface changes. The reflection of a young man had appeared next to mine. Though I heard him coming, I had expected him to continue on past me. Annoyingly enough, though, he starts speaking to me. Hello there, miss. Do you mind if I sit down next to you? Wanting him to just go away, I don't reply, but he doesn't seem to get the cue. I've noticed you sit here at the same time every day. It's a nice place, isn't it? I'm pretty fond of it myself. Maybe you don't actually like this place? Though, since you're always sitting here, you probably like it, right? Yeah, that makes sense, I think. He scratches his head awkwardly. To tell the truth, I'm not very good at talking to girls. I guess there's Belly, but she doesn't really count. Ugh, she'd totally be mad if she heard me say that. Oh, it's not that. You're not a girl, though. You just look pretty mature. Though you also look pretty young. I mean, you're pretty... pretty? How long was he going to keep babbling? Though I had no real interest in him, an appetizing aroma causes me to turn my head in his direction. He was carrying a bag of bread. Wow! Panera? Unfortunately, Alouette had eaten my lunch last night, meaning food was invariably going to catch my attention. Skipping a meal every now and then was hardly cause for concern, but Mallory had scolded her to the point of tears. This? It's a loaf of bread. You've seen one before, right? He cringes at his idiotic question even as it leaves his own mouth. My god, Attune, of course you've seen a loaf of bread before, you dunce. Reaching into his bag, he takes a loaf in hand and holds it out. I stare at this steaming bread before me. You're giving it to me? Yeah. Oh, that's the first time I heard your voice. It sounds cool, like nothing can faze you. Unless you want to be fazed? It's nice to be fazed every once in a while. Ignoring his incessant chattering, I take the bread and make quick work of it. Wow, you must be pretty hungry. Not that you say you're fat or anything, if you weren't. My name is... Attune. You said it before while muttering to yourself. Yeah, Attune Lyrit. That's my name. Attune looks expectantly at me. He was probably waiting for me to give my name. So, nice weather, huh? Attune turns to the pond and laughs nervously. I know. You know there's a story that's been passed down around this pond? A story? Yep. Well, legend has it that long ago this pond was used by a mother to drown her child, who suffered from crippling birth defects. The mother wished to release the child from its painful fate, but her despair was such that she held herself under the surface until she drowned as well. Back then, this pond had apparently been so black and filthy you couldn't see the bottom of it. The people believed it to be haunted, claiming sobs and cries could be heard from it in the dead of night. A priest was shown the pond and asked to exorcise it, but to that request the priest said something baffling. He said that he had never seen a more pure and pristine pond in his life. Cupping his hands in prayer, he drank the dirty water reverently, to the shock of the villagers around him. As the people discussed what happened in the town, I love how he's just like, let me tell you this really fucking, like, intriguing story, you stranger. One person stood up and claimed that the pond had always appeared clear and pristine to their eyes. The days passed, with more and more people speaking of the pond as a beautiful thing until everyone was saying it. Then, one morning, the townspeople awoke to discover that the pond had transformed to become the reality they claimed was truth. Attune bends down and splashes the sparkling water idly with his hands.
This is called the law of attraction. Click now on my free video to see how you can manifest the reality you want.
It is said that at a certain time of day, if one sits here all alone, the sound of a cooing mother and a laughing baby can be heard. It's a strange story, isn't it? Something about the story resonated with me, stirring something deep inside. Yeah, I imagine it did, considering, like, you know, this game, and everything about it is symbolic to itself. May I ask you something? What color is this pond? It's just blue, right? Indeed. I dip my hands into the pond and scoop out a handful of water. What color is the water in my hand? Uh, it's clear. It doesn't have a color. So it changes color. Atun scratches his head. I guess that's how it works. Even though water is usually clear, if enough of it comes together in one place, it'll look blue. I see. So it's a lie. Uh, um, isn't it fine though? Even if it's a lie, I think it's beautiful. It's real to me, and I believe in it. So you don't need to make a face like that. What kind of face had I been making? This one here, right there? Yeah, this one, yep. Anyways, I have to be off now. It was nice talking to you. Atun turns to leave, his shoulders slumped. Amane. Huh? My name. Amane. He smiles widely. What a wonderful name. Will you be here tomorrow? Perhaps. Alright, I'll see you then, Amane. Like an overexcited child, Atun turns and runs off. Yeah, I got her name! He fist pumps vigorously as he scampers away, causing the bread to fall from his arms and scatter all over the ground. Moldy onions! Look what you've done now, Atun! Oh, I hope she didn't see me. Sweet. Oh my gosh, you two are so adorable! Yeah, I mean, at the very least, that fucking pond was. Oh? Is that Alouette I see? What are you doing up, sweetie? Alouette was peeking into the room from the kitchen doorway. It had gotten quite late during my stay. Alouette, can't sleep. Come here, you. Alouette rushes over and buries herself in her mother's warm embrace. Geez, you're such a spoiled child. Even as Mallory says that, she indulges herself as well, rubbing her cheek against Alouette's hair. Auntie Amine is here too! Next, Alouette scurries over and hops into my lap. She was rather attached to me since I had raised her alongside Mallory for much of her life. Will you be joining us for tea as well? Alouette shakes her head. Will you be joining us for tea as well? She shakes her head. Not sweet! Alouette doesn't like tea. Mommy, when is Pap coming home? Idone was quite the workaholic. Since his workplace was far, he generally only returned home once a week. He's coming home tomorrow, actually. Yay! You should bring Atun and the twins over, Amy. It'll be fun. Perhaps I shall. Kalia and Triss are coming? Let's play! Let's play! Alouette starts hopping around energetically at the prospect of us visiting. Oh, you're so full of energy now. How are you going to get back to bed? Play! Play! I'll be taking my leave now. It is getting rather late. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then? Maybe. Geez, you always give such non-committal answers, Amy. Say goodbye to Auntie Amine, Alouette. Bye-bye! Tomorrow! Let's play! So wait, I'm confused. I thought Alouette had that speech because she was like traumatized, but apparently she's been talking like that since she was whatever age that was. Pretty town, so pretty. Ani Amine, Ani Amine. Linny has a riddle for you. We won't let you through unless you answer correctly. What bird is with you at every meal? It seemed they were in quite high spirits, these children. I don't know. A robin? Finding it too much of a pain to think about, I answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Wah! Alouette crosses her arms in an X shape and makes a strange noise. We got it right in our first try, though. Are we smarter than Auntie? The correct answer is a swallow. Proud they had bested me, the Basia children grinned stupidly in a way that reminded me of their mother. Such cheekiness. If you don't let me in right now, I'll be the one. If you don't let me in right now, I'll be the one swallowing you. I keep reading Alouette for Amine, and it's so bad. Their names, I guess, are a lot similar than I would have thought. A lot more. Slowly bringing my face forward, I tower over the three diminutive children. I'll devour your souls. Yeah! Scary! Ani, scary! Run! The three children immediately abandon their post, fleeing deeper into the house. As the door swings open, I spot Mallory and Adone at the living room table. Though it was a rare break from work for Adone, he was characteristically rigid at attention, as if ready to move on a moment's notice. You need help seasoning these little munchkins, Amy? Mallory waves to me as her children cower behind her. You might want to consider getting new gatekeepers.
Jeez, Em, that was a pretty easy riddle, too.
Peering up at him, Kalia tugs on Atun's sleeve. Swallow? She tilts her head.
A swallow is a birdie.
Kneeling down before her, Atun forms a bird with his hands and starts flapping his fingers. Bird. Triss tries to imitate Atun's hand motions, but only succeeds in tangling his fingers up in silly arrangements.
To swallow food
Atun points at his throat and gulps.
is the same word as the swallow birdie's name.
Atun mimics a bird once again with his hands. However, Akalia makes a distraught face at Atun's simple explanation. No! Don't eat the birdie! Big wet tears begin to roll down her face. To make matters worse, upon seeing his sister crying, Triss immediately starts bawling as well.
I messed up.
Atun slumps to the ground, completing the disastrous scene before me. Ha! It's just one hassle after another between these two little scamps and this scatterbrained hubby. Meanwhile, the Basia family's laughter fills the house as they watch over our zany performance. Today is going to be a long day, isn't it? After our overly colorful entrance settles down, the four adults find ourselves conversing at the table when Triss wanders up to us.
Oh? You brought the toy I made with you?
In his hands was the mechanical contraption that Atun had finished building yesterday. It looks cute. Does it do something special? Atun nods and turns to Triss.
Go ahead and show the others.
While it seemed difficult for him to wind up by himself, when Kalia chipped in and they worked together, it was a feasible feat, even for their sticky little hands. Upon release, a simple melody begins to flow from the device, causing the Basias to gasp and widen their eyes.
I was playing music!